You're back in Bangalore.
Yes.
You said it's close to your heart. What brought you back and what's changed?
Coming to Bangalore is almost like a no-brainer. I had worked twice in the city before.
Right.
I am a Kannadiga, so it's sort of son of the soil in that aspect.
You love Formula One. Speed, split decisions, no room for error. Does running a hotel feel anything like that?
Not always, thankfully. Most days you wake up saying that there's something different I can do, something positive I can do. And after a few years in the industry, you don't really work for the money anymore. I look at it with two lenses. Let me look like as a guest point of view, right? As a guest, you will decide that based on the reputation the hotel has got of the restaurant that it runs. 30, 35 years of working in hotels, you know people. They could be guests, it could be associates, it could be team members, anybody. Body language gives you a lot more than you realize. Very important that you stay disciplined to be successful. If you don't love what you do, then you're finished.
Gen Z checks in with different expectations. Real, direct, no performance. Are hotels ready for that or still catching up?
My opinion, we're still catching up.
So Sujeet, a warm welcome to you. So we are starting this episode called TheGlitz Conversations with Sparkle. My first question to you is, you started as a management trainee. What did that first hotel teach you that still holds?
Thanks, Rajeev. Thank you for having this chat with me. My first job was with a company called Quality Inns based in Hyderabad as a management trainee, as you just said. And, I think what that taught me, being the first job straight out of college, was about, I would say, dignity of labor, right? It's about the fact that it's your first job. So you had industrial exposure earlier as an intern, but it doesn't really prepare you for what the industry is till you start working. So I think it taught me dignity of labor. It taught me about the importance of hard work. It taught me a lot about ethics at that time because you were suddenly privy to a lot of things. You had access to the good things in life, right? And it's very important that you stay disciplined to be successful. So I think that year and a half that I spent in Hyderabad was fantastic. That set the foundation for what I could grow up on later.
So that stayed with you?
Yes.
4 countries, a lot of lobbies, a lot of years. When did running hotels stop being a job and just become what you are?
I think the transition may have happened from the time when I was a department head, then I was moved up from being a department head to director of operations. I think that's when I probably started noticing the shift, what exactly I could do. Because until then you're a department head, you just think of the department I was running food and beverage, so you just think of F&B all the time. We did not really think about the impact you could have on the broader hotel experience, how we could impact people's careers and lives, how we could actually impact guests and make their stays more memorable. Because suddenly I realized that there's a lot more I could do and I wanted to do. I think so that transition, that's when you start realizing, saying that, okay, this is what I love doing. You wake up every day, most days, not every day, let me be honest. Most days you wake up saying that there's something different I can do, something positive I can do. It is not just a chore that I have to get up to go to work. Right? And after a few years in the industry, you don't really work for the money anymore. Right? Especially our industry. If you don't love what you do, then you're finished. Because there are many things that you can crib about.
Right.
But if you look at the positives, that gives you that the joy de vivre, that spring in a step, that makes you a lot more excited, saying that this is what I'm going to do today. I think, so that transition from being a F&B manager to director of operations, then eventually leading properties, that made a huge difference to my outlook on what I can do.
That makes sense. F&B has always been your strength. Why does a strong restaurant matter more to a hotel than most people think?
I look at it with two lenses. Let me look like as a guest point of view, right? As a guest, how do I decide a hotel? If you're a localite, let's say I'm living in Bangalore, right? So I said, how do I decide where I want to go to dine? You will decide that based on the reputation the hotel has got of the restaurant that it runs, right? So from a guest lens, as a non-resident, you want a hotel F&B to be positioned well, that people come to your hotel to dine. And because they have a great experience, or you got a fantastic bar or a concept restaurant, they'll say, okay, such a great place, why don't I have my guests come and stay here? So as it is well known here that rooms give us a profit. F&B gives me my city image, right? And if I'm known in the city, if I'm popular in the city, pretty sure that rest of things will follow. A lot of people underestimating that why F&B, because your profit margins in F&B are say about 50%,
right?
Whereas rooms quite easily does about 85%. If you look at business to business, rooms gives me more money. But to get that, I need to have a good local reputation for my restaurants. That will also give me a spin-off into banqueting.
Right.
So I think it's, of course, being passionate about F&B, I so love the fact that, it is not monotonous. Almost no 2 days are similar. You can create, you can disrupt, you can go wacky, you can do crazy stuff, and most guys will love it for that. Yeah.
That tracks. Luxury has changed. It used to be about what you saw. Now it's about how you are treated. When did you notice that shift?
Notice that shift when I did my first GM job. I was working for a luxury hotel. That's when I sort of realized the difference that you have between running or being in a 5-star hotel to luxury. So that was about 15 years ago when I first did my luxury posting. And since then, luxury has evolved. Right? It used to be a lot about the physical product. It used to be a lot about things that you can touch and feel. And over the years, last few years, and even now evolving, it's a lot of things about what you sense, it's what you feel, it's what you experience. It's about removing the clutter. It's about not doing too much, but doing less. It's less noise, more quality, right? It's about being unobtrusive in the service that you deliver. I think that's what has happened. It's not about just giving fancy amenities. I'm giving a Bulgari amenities. I'm doing something else. It's no longer about that. That is almost, if you ask me, taken for granted that it will be there. But the service that you can deliver before the guests even know that they want it, right? That intuitiveness. I think that's where that luxury quotient kicks in, and I've been fortunate enough to open, run and manage some of the better hotels. So yeah, that's been great learning.
That'll do it. My next question, 619 rooms. That's not a hotel, that's a small town. How do you keep it from feeling like one?
It's a people, right? It's a busy hotel. We are a convention hotel as well. It's
Exactly.
2 brands. So we're always busy, which is a good thing. But if you look at guests, if you look at operations, if you look at my team members, not as a process, but as people who are here to accomplish something. The guests are here for a purpose, to stay, to have a meeting, to dine in my restaurants. Then you have the personal connect. The team that comes here to work, you know them on a one-to-one basis. So that connection builds the fact that it is more personal, right? It's just not a machinery that is churning out business and profits and covers and check-ins and check-outs, right? It's about being individual. It's about connecting with the guests and the people. It's about creating an experience. We are not so much into automation. We are still a people's industry, right? I'm not a factory that you press a button and I get a product at the end. There are so many multiple touch points that come into play, and that interaction sort of helps the fact that you keep it like more a people business even now, and not just a town, as well, like you said, that people come and go and you don't know who's who.
Exactly.
Here people are connected. Yeah. So I think that to me would be the difference, how we keep any place running like a hotel or hospitality than just a factory.
Let me ask you about the people running the hotel. You have led teams across India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka and Philippines. What do the best people in hospitality have in common, no matter where they are from?
Every country, I'm not going to mention who's who because it may not be quite right, but every country has got certain nuances to its people that make it great to work. And once you sort of understand the people, the psyche, the culture, then you know what to tap on. Everybody's got something good. You focus on the good to get what you want. Some people are a lot more efficient. Some people are a lot more hospitable but less efficient. It's about finding the balance in your team as well. So it's very difficult to saying that countries like this, not quite right to say that, but most people have the intent of wanting to doing good, right? People in our industry want to be nice to guests, right? So that is a common thread. Everybody wants a career. So they work hard, they push themselves to deliver what is required.
Right.
So I think irrespective of the countries, I think that would be something that is common. The interest to learn, the interest to deliver, the interest to progress their own career. I think, then you just tap, like I said, team balance is all about finding the best that you can work with. And balance the load so that if you're good in X, I give it to you. If you're not good in Y, I don't give it to you. I'll find somebody else who's good at it. So you bring about a balance in the team by doing just that.
Sounds like someone's worth working with. Gen Z checks in with different expectations. Real, direct, no performance. Are hotels ready for that or still catching up?
My opinion, we're still catching up. We are catching up for a couple of reasons about it. Gen Z is constantly evolving, right? Gen Z is now moved to Gen Alpha. If you look at it, that is also changing track over a period of time. We are in many ways, whether it's our culture, our people, or the fact that many of our senior managers are not really interacting as much with Gen Z to understand them. I would say little more difficult to understand. While broadly everybody speaks of Gen Z and the fact that it's instant gratification, it's about now and ambition and purpose and stuff like that, which is so right. But we have some amount of catching up to do to be able to implement what we know. One is to know, we now understand. But we also need to modify some of our structures and systems and process to make sure that we continue to be an effective and a good employer for the Gen Z.
Fair enough. Are you ready for them?
We will be. Every day is an evolution. Every day we are learning something new. We are developing something new. We are creating a process and a culture that makes it more future ready. Are we there as yet? Answer is no. Honestly, I'm being honest about it. But will we get there? Absolutely yes. I think the answer is going to be sooner than later.
You're back in Bangalore.
Yes.
You said it's close to your heart.
Oh yes.
What brought you back and what's changed?
What brought me back, to be honest, is Hilton. What brought me back is also the fact that this is an absolutely great hotel, right? It's a Hilton flagship in India, dual brand. It's our top performing hotel. So many reasons to go for it. And also Hilton is in that growth trajectory right now, where if you had to get onto the bandwagon now, I think your career progression can be faster. Right. So I did have definitely a selfish interest in doing that. Coming to Bangalore is almost like a no-brainer. I had worked twice in the city before.
Right.
I am a Kannadiga, so it's sort of son of the soil in that aspect. Great hotel. What has changed? I think everybody knows the traffic. And it will be incomplete to say anything about Bangalore without the traffic. It's paving the way for the future. Unless you build the infra now, it's few years down the line that you'll have bigger problems.
Right.
Absolutely great to be back home.
Good to be home then.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
This is an interesting one. You love Formula One. Speed, split decisions, no room for error. Does running a hotel feel anything like that?
Not always, thankfully. No, we are not in a high-risk game most of the time. There are parts of a day or maybe parts of maybe a week when you have to take instant decisions when something could be very critical. The speed is definitely of the essence. But it may not always be life and death like it is in Formula One in a pit stop if you're racing or whatever. It's more about taking a decision that can get you a piece of business. It could be taking a quick decision that can alter a career for somebody else. So it's not always about split decisions. It's not about always the speed of getting it together. But one thing, since you mentioned F1, I'm of course definitely very passionate about it. I think akin to a pit stop, for me, it's about team management. Everybody's got a role to play. An F1 pit stop has got 16 people and they change 4 tires in less than 2 seconds, 1.89 seconds to be precise. That calls for practice, trust, collaboration, teamwork, everybody knowing the job, and no one job is less important or more important than the other. There are some people who are standing right in front taking the risk. There is a whole team backing them at the back. So I would say that the teams is what makes a huge difference, and that to me is one of the greatest learnings of watching pit stops and watching Formula One races.
Who's your driver?
It used to be Michael Schumacher, but since he's no longer racing and is indisposed, right now it's Max Verstappen and Red Bull.
Oh, lovely. So you've been through booms, downturns and a pandemic. What stays constant in hospitality no matter what's happening outside?
I think for me, it is about connections. It's about people. It's about getting the core of hospitality is being efficient and hospitable to people. There will be business ups and downs. You of course don't panic. When things are down, you try to take stock. You pull together as a team. You collaborate and see what's best for the business. At the end of the day, we must also understand that we are running a business. There are times that during the pandemic, unfortunately, when we all had to take some very tough calls. Not easy, but I think it was required for the greater good. But what made a difference is that how we could help people during those crises and how we could get them back for the people who could not work with us during those periods. Business ups and downs goes in a cycle. So you're sort of prepared for it. You get trends, you do analysis, you see market conditions, you prepared for it. Something like the pandemic doesn't prepare you at all. In hindsight, God forbid if anything like that were to happen again, maybe we are a lot more resilient that we can bounce back. As a companies, as people, in terms of technology, that time we were caught totally unawares. I think now all of us are better prepared, and maybe in the back of our mind, we are always prepared that something might happen at any time. So you're on your guard and you're a little more cautious in your approach, is what I would say.
You travel yourself. When you check into a hotel as a guest, what tells you immediately if they understand hospitality or not?
That's a difficult question to ask a hotelier, because even off duty, forget going on a vacation, even if you're off duty, always you're picking on your staff, you're noticing things. It doesn't help the fact that I'm OCD. So I am even more obsessed on making sure things are neat, clean, organized. So when I go for a holiday, for example, most hotels will probably know I'm coming in because you're either with the company or somebody knows you. They've probably gone through my guest profile. They know what I like, don't like, how I like stuff to be made. If you're an unknown, I think it starts with the smile in the eyes. You can wear a face mask, but you can't cover the eyes. So that tells you how genuine are the people. Are they just parroting a script? Are they emoting from their heart? Is it a genuine welcome or a namaste? Or is it something to say, tick in the box, listen, I had to greet him, so done that. 30, 35 years of working in hotels, you know people. They could be guests, it could be associates, it could be team members, anybody. Body language gives you a lot more than you realize. But honestly, when I'm going on a holiday, I try not to be difficult to anybody because I understand the pain points the other side.
Right. Coming to my last question, when you walk through this place 5 years from now, what do you hope to feel?
I would like to feel a sense of pride. Pride not because I left this place, of course. It's because the fact that the gentleman who opened this hotel, he had to go through a phase, right? I've taken it over from him. I'll go to the phase of building, ramping up whatever needs to be done, and the next person will take over. So it's always great to see the progress that you make, going back to a hotel from where you left it to where it is then become by the next level of the new general manager taking over. Every hotel that I've revisited where I work, you always feel a sense of pride. I remember this. Nostalgia is there, of course, right? You always feel nostalgic, saying, oh, this was here, this is now changed. But you're always so happy that the hotel is doing well. I've opened a couple of hotels, and each time, even though I'm not working with them anymore, it's still my hotel.
Exactly.
So people tell me, listen, you're no longer working there. But you can't take that away from you, right? You're invested in the hotel. It is your blood and sweat. This will always remain as my hotel, and I'll always be happy that it's doing better than what it was when I left. Right? A sense of pride that somebody's done better, and yeah, that's what
Good one. Thank you for your time.
Oh, entirely.
And good luck.